Hey guys, it's Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a base game micro home that is a Suburban, and I'm actually super proud of this build because I don't normally make like Suburbans, but I think I pulled this off quite well. I initially didn't want this to be like a base game only thing, but eventually I changed up some things because I only used like a bit of packs. So towards the end, I just changed them up and kind of just used base game stuff because the items that I used from different packs are just super minimal and did not add to like the value and stuff. So I just changed them up for some base game stuff. The only thing I'm not happy about is the columns because for some reason we don't have like super basic columns in base game, so that was kind of annoying, but eventually like I just lived with it and I'm still super happy with how this build turned out. Also, I found out that you don't have to make rooms in order to add like trims to the roofs, which I was super happy about. I think there is like a huge chunk of this build that I actually cut off because I was searching up how to add trims without adding tiles on top of the build, which I did, and I found out that you just have to add fences. So you can just add like flat fences on the sides and just add trims that way. And I am so happy about that information because I used to not be able to do this because I didn't want to add some more tiles, especially if I'm making like a micro home or something. So yeah, I'm super happy about that. I initially put for some reason I put like get famous fences just because I would just wanted to like put any flat fence that I wanted to put. So I ended up changing that off camera. So don't worry, this doesn't require you to have any packs. You just need to have base game, and if you actually want to like reap the benefits of having a micro home, then you actually have to have tiny living as well. But it's not really a requirement because I didn't use any tiny living stuff in here. I just used base game stuff. For this build, I tried to be as organized as I can be, and not have too many back and forths because it's just hard to watch, I think. So I'm trying to like get more organized with that. It's also easier to do the commentary with like section by section, if that makes sense, because if I go like back and forth between like sections of the house, then it's just hard to explain what I was doing during like the building. But I don't know, it's not perfect yet, but I tried my best. So right now I'm just trying to finish the outdoor, and I'm super happy with the exterior, with how it turned out, because landscaping is really not my strong suit, but honestly I'm like super happy with how this turned out. And here I am just like trying to figure out the fence situation. I didn't know if I wanted to close it off or not. I ended up not closing it off and just leaving it open and just having this little walkway. And here I am just sort of experimenting with the landscaping. It's not super duper good, but it's good enough for me as like a sort of, I would say I'm a beginner at like building because I recently just got into it. So yeah, I'm super happy with how this turned out. I just added a couple of bushes and I made sure that everything is base game. And yeah, so also added some trees. I'm trying to keep a balance between it looking, like lived in, but not like super duper like greeny and stuff, because this is not the house that we're trying to build. So yeah, I also debated on putting a fence on like the entryway, but I ended up deleting that in a few because I don't know, I feel like it just looks a bit too closed off. Yeah, and then I just added some windows too, and this is also another thing that I kind of have a hard time balancing because usually like I either build with like no windows or like all the windows, so I'm super happy with how this looks balanced. I know this is like a super like basic house. It's a very like tiny house. Obviously it's a micro home, so it just has like 32 tiles, I believe, and I think I did a pretty good job with the windows in this one. I think it also helped that this is also like only base game, so I had a limited a number of options for the windows, and they all went together because they're all from the same pack. Not the same pack, but it's just from base game, so they all kind of go together. So I'm really happy about that. And here I'm just adding some terrain paint on the flooring, and one thing that I forgot to do was add some shadows like underneath the house itself. And a lot of people do that, a lot of simmers do that just to add some more depth to the house, but I forgot to do that. So if you do want to download this, then maybe you could just add that yourself. But yeah, that's something that I missed. Also, I'm kicking myself right now because I'm so proud of myself for finally remembering to put a mailbox. But as I'm doing this voiceover, I just remembered that I forgot to put like any trash bins, like outdoor trash bins, indoor trash bins. I also forgot to do that. So again, if you're going to download this build, please just add the trash bin yourself. I'm so sorry about that, but it's just a minor thing that you can just pretty much add anywhere. I think there's some more space in the back if you just want to add like an outdoor bin. There's plenty of space for that in the back. And then here, I initially wanted like the pop out on the side to be like the bathroom, but I just realized that it's kind of too big to be a bathroom, especially for a house this small. And I just wasn't feeling like a studio type bungalow for this one, so I just added a new room and made that the bathroom. And then I went a little I ended up changing this wallpaper to something a little bit darker, which I think I just used on my studio apartment build, which I just uploaded like last week or this week or early this week. But I am in love with that color. I mean, it's a dark blue, and I ended up going with that because I just feel like if you have a dark wallpaper, you don't have to sort of fill up the space that much, because it kind of does that itself. So yeah, I'm happy about that. And here I am just struggling with a rug because it's hard to find like the perfect sized rug, especially for a very tiny space like this. I didn't want to use a rug that was too tiny that it looked like it didn't do anything, but I ended up just going with this one, I think. And yeah, and then here I am just trying to fill up the space a little bit, and added this lamp. And I also end up adding like a little plant on the side. I'm not super happy with this lamp, but I forgot to change it back to, because I wanted to have like mostly white furniture, or at least glass furniture, and the dark wood just wasn't doing it for me. But again, forgot to change it. It's fine. So I'm just adding some plants here, trying to come up with like plant combinations. I don't know if this works, but it's fine with me. So and I'm just leaving that there. Now onto the kitchen. I did not think this through. It was super tiny, so I don't actually know if this is functional. I feel like it's functional. It should be. But I end up just deleting that sink, so your Sims just would have to like go to the bathroom to wash the dishes. I'm so sorry, but there's like a super tiny space, so I just didn't want to add a sink and cut the counter space, because I feel like that's more important, especially if we have like a sink in the bathroom anyway. So I just made that tiny compromise. And then here I'm just adding this tiny excuse for a dining room. So I just made it just one seater. I guess you can add another chair if you wanted to, but it's kind of a cramped space, so I don't know if it will be functional that way. But either way, I just didn't add it because it looked a bit too cluttered for my taste. So I guess if you want to play with like a couple, I don't think you'll be able to do that anyway, because there's just one bed. It's a single bed. So I just made this house with just a single sim in mind. So yeah. And then this bedroom is super duper simple. There's not much going on. It's just a bed, like an end table, a lamp, and then I end up adding, I think, a mirror in here. I considered adding a desk in the foot of the bed, but I ended up not doing that. But again, if you just want to add a desk maybe, then you can definitely do that. But if I were the one to play in this house, I would probably just get a laptop for my sim instead of like an actual computer, and just have them use the laptop on the dining table. So yeah, that's what I did. It's so weird how we're not able to use laptops in bed or on the couch, because that's kind of the point of laptops, is that you can use them anywhere, but for some reason you have to use a table. So I don't know, that's weird for me, but that's what we have, so I guess we're just gonna have to live with it. I ended up just adding this shelf on the foot of the bed just to kind of fill up the space a little, and just, you know, just as a little something to do for the single sim that lives in this very boring, very basic house. And then here I am just adding some furniture, some fixtures on the bathroom. So I just added this shower and this toilet and sink. And I know the shower is like weirdly placed. I should have placed it where the toilet is, but this, I don't know, this layout just made the most sense to me, so I just kind of lived with that. And then I also contemplated on whether or not I wanted to add like curtains everywhere, and then I ended up just not doing it because there's not much like base game curtains that I'm fond of, so I just left it that way. And then I added this bike. I thought it was just super cute, so I just added that bike. The flowers in front are super cute for me, and then I just added this not a microscope, but it's a telescope, and then just some planter boxes. Even though I never garden when I play, I don't know, do you guys use the gardening skill? Because I never do that, because it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's just too much work for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you want to download it, it's on the gallery. My name is just plumtownie on there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.